combine Siberia, France.
Siberia?
Yes.
Siberia.
Is that what he said?
No, it's Serbia.
Oh
my God.
What's up, guys? Producer Will here. First time on camera. Just want to let you guys know. We've seen the retention graph. A lot of you guys leave after the first 15 seconds. Wanted to let you guys know that this video is actually longer than 15 seconds. So, you can just put it on in the background while you're working. There's a lot of interesting stuff we talk about. I don't know why I'm moving my hand so much, but let's get right into it.
Welcome back to The Consensus. This is another episode of the worst college dorm room podcast you'll ever hear. But at the same time, it's peak. Just trust.
Indeed.
So today, we're gonna do a couple things. We've got a lot of NBA to talk about. No more football, which makes me sad.
Yeah.
After.
Why are you celebrating?
It's baseball season.
Oh,
yes.
It's time to take a nap.
Oh, wow.
That's insane.
So we'll do
insane.
NBA. We're gonna talk about the NBA All-Star game and how awful it was. And then we'll talk about Victor Wembanyama being hurt now.
Don't even. It was awful. It was bad. Dishon.
I watched the whole thing. It was nice. It was
Dishon.
better than other
Oh my!
years.
Oh yeah!
No, it wasn't.
Okay. Anyways, what are the other topics?
I guess we're having two dorm room debates. We'll just talk about the
Awful.
NBA in general, NBA standings,
Awful.
who we think is going to be in the finals, playoff stuff and whatnot, and then we are going to have a guest. So you'll have to stay tuned. You'll have to find out who the guest is and what we're going to be talking about. So actually watch the video.
There we go.
They probably already got off.
And they're already
took
took off, and it's over. Okay,
Here we go.
so we're gonna talk about the NBA All-Star games and how much of a disaster it was. Apparently, Dishon thinks it was good. So
Should we talk about the dunk contest and all that too? Do you want to talk about the dunk contest?
yes,
The
that's why we're talking about.
It's just All-Star
Well, the
weekend in
game-
general.
All-Star weekend.
Yeah,
All-Star weekend. Yeah.
I'll start off because
Why is that?
I thought the weekend was good. Now,
Well, first you like the weekend.
okay, not the weekend, but like the All-Star weekend. Yeah. Okay. So skills challenge. That's like usually my favorite thing out of the whole entire weekend.
That's insane.
Yeah, I like.
That's a disastrous thing.
I like the skills challenge.
It's a disastrous
It's like
thing.
it's so versatile because like you're seeing everybody and like it's
This guy
nice.
watched Aaron Gordon versus Zach LaVine and said, "Yeah, I like the skills challenge."
Okay,
actually."
but the dunk
No,
contest is nice.
You
but
watched
like,
Aaron Gordon versus Derrick Jones Jr. and was like, you know what?
Derrick Jones Jr.
I like
2017.
I like watching people dribble the basketball and like shoot threes and miss them and have a good time.
Yeah, but I just like seeing the dynamic duos and like Chris Paul, Wemby. When
That was
Okay, they got so robbed.
They just
NBA,
tried to.
NBA was so pissed that they figure out how to hack the system, and then they're like, "Wait, you're kicked out."
You can't do
I was like,
that.
that's so dumb.
Yeah.
At least they were. I thought it was at least
They were.
funny.
I know.
Yeah,
but
I thought
at
it was
least, I
pretty
mean,
funny.
I think it was. Didn't Wemby say that he asked someone about if they could do it and like they said
no
that he
clue.
could.
I
didn't hear anything about that.
I saw that report about.
But that's hilarious.
I saw that report about Wemby asking like, "Hey, can we do this?" And then they did it, and then apparently they asked the wrong fucking guy, which is absolutely hilarious.
Unfortunate.
Prayers up to Wemby.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Bloody
We'll
Clyde.
talk
Pickers.
about.
We'll talk about
Right
that.
soon.
We'll talk about that.
We will.
afterwards.
We definitely will. But prayers.
Are you
up.
mean mugging, bro?
Sorry.
But
You're mugging the camera.
but other than that, I mean, the Cavs won the skills challenge. I mean, Draymond absolutely sucked in the last round.
Draymond looked like triple single Draymond.
Moses Moody carried in that final like half of like the final two teams. Draymond was
The Spurs should have won.
I totally agree.
I agree with that.
You know who did win though? The Great White Hope, Mac McClung.
Yeah.
Three-peat Patrick Mahomes could never.
Yeah.
Mac McClung
That's
is better than the
crazy.
Chiefs dynasty, confirmed.
That's the funniest.
They literally whipped this 6 foot. What? He's probably 6'2" probably. What about this 6'2" white dude that's in the G League all the time? They're like, hey, time for dunk contest.
I can't believe
he really
this.
has made more money off the dunk contest than his actual NBA earnings.
Yeah, I can't believe he was a G. I didn't find out until after the dunk contest he's been in the G League.
Oh yeah.
He was in the G League last year. I think he got signed in the Magic. I mean,
No, he's still on the G League.
Yeah.
Oh,
So he just had to put on a Magic uniform?
He's on the Magic's G League team. Then they
Oh.
pull him up for All-Star Weekend.
Wow.
So that he's allowed to play.
That's
He's the only one in the NBA
That's-
that's worth anything
that's-
that can dunk.
Yeah.
Or that wants to be in the dunk
I mean,
contest.
Ja Morant did tweet out saying that he would do
Next
it.
year.
And he called out.
He's
and he
full pissed.
And he called out Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine. If this happens, I will absolutely just die. next
Knowing
year.
the NBA.
It's an
Absolute cinema.
It's in LA next year too. I feel like they have to go all out for LA.
This is going to be, I think, Zion.
No, Zion will.
Zion will probably break his knee.
No, Zion will probably create a.
His gumbo
No.
infested.
No,
Remember,
Zion-
he used to be a really good dunker, though.
Dude, Zion will create.
Zion's college.
Zion will bring down the whole Intuit Dome.
No, but he's not.
Break it.
He's good, though. Remember, Shaq has been in arenas before, so I don't think it'll be bad.
Yeah, but Shaq doesn't have weight problems. Like
He broke the rim.
Dude,
now.
Shaq was like.
Shaq is 350.
Shaq was humongous when he was playing
Yeah,
for
bro.
the Celtics.
Dude, but no, it's, I always want to. If we can pull up if we can put on the screen Zion's Mountain Dew commercial.
Nah, bro, that's
Oh
not.
my lord, you
sponsored.
look so fat.
That's
for
not
that commercial.
sponsorship.
I don't think we're allowed to show that. 'cause
Yeah, we're
it
not.
might
We
be
don't have a
copyrighted.
paid promotion.
But it's hilarious.
But it's absolutely hilarious. But there's a difference between in-game dunks and actual dunk contests.
Mhm.
I think Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine absolutely killed the dunk contest compared to like in-game dunks like Ant Edwards or Ja.
So we're still going back to 2016. Let's talk about 2025, not 9 years ago. I mean,
But
That's the last time. That's
when
the last time the All-Star game was
20
interesting.
2020 was
Any part of it.
2020 was the last good dunk contest with Aaron Gordon and Derrick Jones Jr.
That
before
was-
COVID in
Oh,
Chicago.
yeah.
In Chicago,
That's fair. That's fair.
I
I can get
believe-
behind that.
I remember Aaron jumping over Taco Fall.
Oh
yeah. I do
UCF
believe
legend Taco Fall.
I believe that in any other year, Stephon Castle would have had a really good chance of winning, but it just
White boy jumped over a car though.
Mac McClung was.
Stephon
too
Castle
He,
put up
good.
he did the Blake Griffin, but like
Better.
actually interesting
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
like Blake Griffin is like 6'10" and he jumped over the roof of it.
Yeah.
Or sorry,
He
the
jumped
hood of the
over
car.
the hood, yeah.
Mac McClung jumped over the actual roof of it and took the ball from a dude's hands up
Yeah,
the sunroof.
that was crazy.
That's insanity.
Stephon
Yeah.
Castle put up the best fight out of anyone.
Yeah, he actually made it pretty interesting.
Andre Jackson Jr. and whoever the Bulls
Ooh.
representative was should be fucking banned.
Absolute
should be
stinkers.
banned from All Star Weekend. That was absolutely atrocious.
Those
to
were some
watch.
stinkers, man.
I was about to cry watching it. I mean, I thought it was gonna be another awful dunk contest. Ugh.
You know, they're
But-
off to such a bad start.
But
with
Mac
those two.
McClung did his thing.
He was locked in.
He was locked in.
Unlike the actual game, which was the actual All-Star games,
We're not gonna
which
talk
were
about
We're
terrible.
not gonna talk about the 3-point
Yeah, I was
contest.
about to
Nah.
say that. Buddy
I
Hield.
guess.
Buddy Hield choked.
You know who
so
he should have
fucking
won?
bad.
He was one shot away from winning, bro.
Man,
Buddy
why
Hield.
was Cade Cunningham in the 3-point contest?
I don't know why
Why
they
wasn't
put
Malik
That's what I'm
Beasley?
saying. Malik Beasley should have been the front runner to win it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess.
He would have
like,
walked in and won
I
that
guess
thing so
I
easily.
guess they needed the franchise player.
Cade? But, like, no.
He's
Cade's not a great 3-point
He's
shooter.
been better this year. I would say.
They could have put him in a skills challenge, not the 3-point contest.
With
I
who?
can get behind that.
They could have put him in,
Him
like, Dennis Schroeder or something. That
Him-
would have been a good combo. Or
him
him
and
and Duran.
Him and Tobias.
No, I don't think Tobias would be good for skills challenge.
Tobias Harris over me.
Oh yeah, I think Jalen Duran and Cade could have did well in the skills challenge.
Well, they had like the Rising Stars challenge at one time. And it wasn't it Cade and Duran.
The Rising
Right.
Stars
Something
game.
like
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
And it was Cade, Duran, and Ivy.
yeah.
I think
They
so.
definitely made the right.
That was Cade's second year. But
Then the game, bro, the All-Star game.
terrible.
How?
Because
Tell me-
they
Tell me what your
the
thoughts
40-point limit is just way too low.
No,
Okay, that's
I will,
true.
I will
It's
agree with that.
like the games. There was like triple the amount of commercial time than there was actual watch time of the games.
I think
Because that's how fast it went. Because
Yeah.
still no one plays any defense. They need to take a page out of the NHL's book and do USA versus the world
That's
in
what
an
they're
actual game.
That's what they're thinking this year.
Like they should do that.
I don't like that concept.
Or they gotta do East West and then winner of the game gets home court.
I like
in the
that
playoffs
so much
or in the
better.
finals.
I don't. They used to do that, but
I
the
know.
thing is,
but not for home court advantage.
no, but it incentivizes the teams that don't have like players playing in the game. So like when you think about the Lakers, if they make the playoffs and somehow reach the finals, LeBron didn't play. No one was in that game. But if the West won, they would have home court advantage. So it's kind of unfair.
It just gives them a little bit more motivation to make the playoffs and
Yeah.
make a deep playoff run.
Well, yeah,
But if give it some incentive though.
Yeah.
Well, if you
give
were
them a
to-
little bit of money.
Well, if you were to do that, then you would have to make it to where every team has at least one All-Star, like the MLB does it.
No.
I don't think so.
No.
I think you can get away without it.
No. That's so bad.
It's not
So you're
bad.
saying So you're saying
I'm just crashing it.
so you're saying by default the Wizards should have an All-Star when they're the worst fucking team in the NBA.
Well, who's the best player on the Wizards?
Jordan Poole.
JPZ.
Jordan Poole. No, that is only when the Huzz are around.
Okay, maybe you have
JP.
Exactly.
All right.
You're saying you're saying the Hornet. Oh no, the Hornets should have had LaMelo this year. I'm not even gonna lie. That was a robbery.
That's valid.
Yeah.
Raptors with
Who else
Scotty
is
Barnes.
who else is dog shit this year? Like who else is bad this year?
You would have had some teams that, or like the Utah Jazz would have been Lauri Markkanen. Like
Honestly,
he's good, but like
he's good, but not all-star.
Like he hasn't had as good of a season this year.
I
I understand your point, but I just don't think it works.
don't get.
Okay.
I'm not behind the whole. Give every team an all-star.
Okay. Well, here are my two. I understand you. Here are my two reasons why I don't think USA versus World will work like in the NHL. One, they just had that concept in the Rising Stars game. And not too many people watch the Rising Stars.
The Rising Stars game.
That's a really good game.
No,
that
the Rising Stars.
Name the top 2 picks this year.
The top 2 picks?
Yes, in this NBA draft. Name those top 2 picks.
Rasacher and Sengun, right?
Fucking hell. No, Sengun was cage
Strike one.
So
Sar and
Sar and Zachary Rasacher. Yeah.
What was the second one? Oh, Sar?
Yeah, Sar.
It wasn't Sengun? Okay.
Sar has been...
Both from France.
Sar has been like...
Wimber the Okay,
I think it's just, they gotta do something.
But that's the second, that leads me to the second reason. Good segue. The world would win every single year because of how much talent they have.
Shut the hell up. Shut up.
They would.
Shut up.
I think this year would have been a great game because it would have been, because yes, the world's upper talent is insane.
Yes.
It's Jokic, it's Giannis, it's Shea.
Technically, Embiid, you could add Embiid to the Cameroon side.
He didn't even qualify for the All-Star game because he had too many injuries.
He played for Team USA.
But the USA would have had way more depth.
Yeah.
So I actually think it would have been a really good game.
I mean, look at the Olympics this past year. I mean,
Top end versus depth.
God damn, that was.
But that's
fantastic.
That's the U.S. versus country by country.
Yeah, but still, like, So Netflix came out with a show called Court of Gold.
Another non-sponsor.
It's not a fucking sponsor.
That's my point. It's not a sponsor.
You don't have to say that shit.
Okay.
So here's the thing. They had a documentary following Serbia, Canada, France, and the USA for the Olympics. Now, France's whole point of view of why they thought they would have won is because they had so much chemistry. And they still lost to Team USA with depth. I mean, think about it.
What?
No. I get you, but like that's again country by country. If you combine Siberia, France, yes,
Siberia.
Is that what he said?
No, it's Serbia.
Oh
my God, we are. Max Scholar, by the way. Max Scholar.
Serbia, France, in Canada, that will lead you to the super team going against what? And think about it down the road in 3 years.
Steph, KD, LeBron.
Not LeBron. He'll be retired in 3 years.
Fuck.
Yeah, Cooper Flag.
Cooper Flag, Anthony Davis, Anthony Disabled Davis.
Disabled Davis is crazy.
Versus Luka Doncic, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Sengun Wembanyama.
Don't even put Sengun in that.
He was an All-Star this year.
Doesn't mean he's on that fucking level.
He would be. He would be on that level.
Don't even.
Gobert, it's like
Gobert.
Yeah, it's like
Gobert.
It's such a stacked lineup.
Gobert is an embarrassment.
Gobert, not Rudy Gobert.
Gobert.
Bro.
Let me-
What is
COVID
that?
man, you want to put COVID man in that
Oh
lineup?
my God.
Well, if he's an
You wanna start
All-Star,
touching the microphone.
if he's an All-Star, yeah.
I still hate Rudy for that.
Ben Simmons?
No, I still hate Rudy
We
for
don't
that.
talk about
Michigan
Ben Simmons.
State would have won March Madness that year. I swear to God, I will die on that.
Okay,
But-
all right.
no.
We need to change topics.
Yeah.
Y'all are getting
But
off
here's the
topic.
thing. Here's the thing.
No.
All-Star game needs to change. I don't like the 14 format. Even then too. This was TNT's last year too. Like Candace Parker getting a team. Why not? I get Candace Parker's part of the crew. But why not give Ernie Johnson a team? He's part of the four. He's part of the four iconic team. Four iconic people
That's true.
on TNT. Candace Parker wasn't even in that segment where they honored TNT. Ernie Johnson was. Fuck out of here with that.
All right.
I get she's a WNBA legend, but fuck out of here.
That's the reason why it wasn't about TNT.
Oh my God.
They just paid tribute to the other three with the
These
team.
guys are masters at being off topic.
Fuck out of
You
here.
guys, you guys are masters at being off
I
topic.
wasn't on top. I was responding.
Fuck
to
out
it.
Cooper was off topic. All right. We need to get this thing moving along so we can get our guests in on time. So
the train is tricky.
So we're gonna real quick talk about Wemby's injury, and so the injury is interesting because it actually connects into our next topic, which is just the NBA as a whole. The Spurs are currently the 12th seed in the West already. So if Wemby's injury keeps him out for an extended period of time, or he's out for the rest of the season, are the Spurs gonna end up with a top 5 pick and get Cooper Flag?
Oh my God. If
They're
they
gonna
do,
get because they could easily get a top 5 pick, and they could get VJ Edgecombe, they could get Ace Bailey, they could get Dylan Harper or Cooper Flag. They're gonna have a really high pick all of a sudden.
I hope they get fucked over like the Pistons do in the lottery. I really hope they do.
That'd be monumental. But I mean, all of a sudden the Spurs have basically nothing to play for. There's no way they can make the playoffs with just Fox. They have no depth at the center
Yeah,
position,
Chris
so
Paul.
it's just gonna be CP0 rings.
I mean,
yes,
they
sir.
have some decent depth with Devin Vassell, Stephon Castle.
No center depth though.
Yeah, that's true. Bismack Biyombo started. Holy fuck.
Oh, that was hilarious. So we'll see. I think that it's eerily similar to when David Robinson got hurt, and then Tim Duncan was able to somehow fall in
I don't know,
to their lap.
I don't know, but at the same time, like blood clots too.
Yeah.
Isn't that what took Chris Bosh out?
That's what took Chris Bosh out, and then that's what Candace R for a little bit.
Yeah, Asar was out for like half of last season. I thought.
Mhm.
Yeah, and he came. I mean, he was struggling too. I mean, even then too. I think I hope Wemby does recover, and if he does,
I'm hoping the best.
I hope the best for him.
I have too many of his rookie cards for him to not be good.
Well, even that, I think those
They
would go
even
for. I
pop
think
up.
those would go for. I think those would go for a lot just off of his 2 seasons.
Hopefully.
I saw on Instagram someone put $10K down for Wemby to win Defensive Player of the Year. Immediately it came out. He got injured. I felt
Karma
karma
is cruel.
that is a generational bad beat right there.
We're gonna real quick talk about who do we have going to the finals this year for the NBA?
Dishon, would you like to start off?
No, I don't know yet.
Okay. Do you want?
All right, I can go first.
Huh?
I think
the standings for you.
I think it's gonna be OKC versus Boston.
Ooh, I like that.
Because I mean OKC is just they're just too good to not make it, right? I mean, I could see them losing to like an experienced team like like the Denver Nuggets, but I think that it will be ultimately OKC making it out, and then Boston just has too much depth, too much skill,
and they have the finals.
and they have the experience.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be OKC versus Boston.
Yeah,
That's my pick at the moment.
For me, I think I think it would pop. For me, I think, because looking at this right now, it's Cleveland, Boston, New York for the West for the top 4 for the East. For the West, it's OKC, Denver, Memphis, and Houston.
Houston's 4.
Yeah, that's shocking. And then Lakers are 5.
Okay, so who do you have going to the finals?
I think once Luka gets into a groove, I think it's possible that the Lakers. I think the Lakers could make the finals.
Oh my god!
I'm not saying that's my pick.
Horrendous.
I'm not saying that's my pick.
Horrendous take.
I'm not saying that's my pick. I think it's gonna be OKC.
Jackson Hayes starting at the center is gonna be dividends for you.
And I think possibly if they can stay consistent, I think Cavs could possibly. I think Cavs can.
I can get behind Cleveland.
They
just have no playoff experience.
Yeah, but if they, I mean Donovan Mitchell.
D-Mitch does.
Donovan Mitchell a little bit. I mean, they made the playoffs last year. They made the playoffs.
Yeah, but they got bounced.
They got bounced by New York last year. But I think it will be. I think it will be OKC versus Cavs if the Cavaliers can stay consistent. If not, it will be the Boston Celtics. Which, I mean, I'm not going to be too mad about that. I mean, OKC and Boston will actually be a really good finals matchup in my opinion.
Deshaun, do you have any idea yet? Or you gotta go to the standings?
That's what I'm finna do.
I haven't pulled
right
up.
now.
I haven't pulled
That's
up.
literally what I'm about to do right
I
now.
haven't pulled up. I got you.
Pull it up.
I got you.
I think the teams that will make
Oh,
it are going to be the ones
okay.
with the most. Are going to be the ones that have the right mix of star power and depth. And I
You know what?
think
Fuck
Boston.
it. You know what? Fuck it, Detroit.
Hell no.
Even he looked at me bad.
Hell no.
Okay, wait. So.
No, but realistically for me, I think my biggest shock of the year is the Clippers being good.
Mm-mm.
I think.
Yeah,
I think
pretty
Clippers.
surprised.
I'm shocked. Clippers are good. I'm shocked.
James Harden turned back the clock a little bit.
I'm shocked. 76ers.
Lakers could make it though. I'm not gonna.
Oh my lord!
Jesus Christ! I was joking. I was
We're
trolling.
not doing this.
The Warriors could too.
We are not. No.
It's true.
If the Warriors actually get off to a hot,
Oh
if
my
the Warriors
lord!
if the Warriors are able to heat up with Jimmy Butler, I think it's possible. But other than that,
They'll never beat the OKC.
nah,
They could.
I know.
No,
wait,
no, they're not.
They're 8 games above every okay.
No, other than that,
Nobody.
I don't think.
There's no shot a team. There's no
The
way
Nuggets
the
are
Lakers,
getting their first ring.
the who?
The Nuggets.
The Nuggets.
The Nuggets already won.
Nuggets.
They're
yeah,
getting their
right.
second ring.
Okay, so Nuggets versus who?
Would I be wrong to say the Knicks?
I will.
I actually can get behind.
I can get behind that.
I can get behind the Knicks.
Cat.
Honestly,
Cat
Cat's
versus
going crazy.
Jokic. Cat versus Jokic.
Oh, it'd be the offensive bigs.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Absolute throw. Defense optional game.
No, oh my God.
Tim's gonna have his starters playing all 48 minutes.
No, it would just be the All-Star game again.
It'd be
It'll
like
be
150, 155. and
Honestly, I would not be mad if the Knicks made the finals. I would not be mad about that.
Dude, Knicks
I
Nuggets
know.
would go crazy.
I know
I'm not even gonna
I know
lie.
for sure New York will be rejoicing after I think
That place is gonna be on fire.
5 years ago they were complete dog shit in the running for Zion, and now they're in the finals. I know Spike Lee will be absolutely electric in there.
Yeah, bro.
But
I could get behind that.
We
Well,
need a Raptors Knicks finals one day.
Raptors Knicks.
That can't happen.
That can't
They're
happen.
both in the East.
They're both in the East.
All right.
I'm stupid.
Real
bro.
quick.
I'm so sorry.
Real quick.
No, we didn't
Who
know.
is-
I will get behind that, but for the Eastern Conference Finals, I'll say that.
Yeah.
Real quick. MSU Michigan is tonight. Who is winning
MSU.
in B-ball?
I think MSU.
MSU wins at Chrysler.
MSU 80 to 76.
At Chrysler,
At
fuck.
Chrysler.
80 to 76. Yes.
At Chrysler.
Yes. They get the job done. 80 to 76.
MSU.
Alley-oop to pull them away.
I think Michigan wins a close one. Michigan MSU always split. Who's got the home games? So I think Michigan wins probably by like 2.
It'll be.
They've been just winning
I
close
will.
games
I'll agree.
recently.
We've got our producer Will's prediction to be 90 to 70 Michigan State. Yes, indeed. That's his prediction.
I'll for sure
He's
say
lying.
I'll for sure say it's a close game, but I think Michigan State gets it done in a very close game.
It'll be a good game.
It will be
That's what we're looking for.
generational, ladies and gentlemen.
I hope so.
So put your parlays on it.
Man, fuck our parlays.
All right, bro. So we're gonna cut away because we are gonna have our guest on, and he will be appearing hopefully soon. So we are gonna do cut away, and then when we come back, our guest will be here, and we will get into a little bit of dorm room debate. There we go. Okay, so we are back, and we have a guest. Would you like to introduce yourself, Trevon?
Which camera do we look at?
And just like that one.
Well, I'm Trevon, and I'm a big Detroit Lions fan, and I'm excited to talk about the Lions today and how they're the best team in America.
Let the world know.
Yeah,
Talk your stuff.
America's team. America's team.
So we are going to have our second dorm room debate. Our first time we did dorm room debate was which was the better scripted sport? Was it the WWE or was it the NFL?
Was it?
And that was pretty funny. Mm-hmm. And now we are going to talk about. We're going to get into who do you think should have won MVP? The result was Josh Allen, who I think should have won MVP. But our panel is very split on who we think MVP should have been. So I think this will be an interesting topic to talk about.
Indeed.
So how about Dishon leads us off?
Okay.
Who do you think should have been MVP
Get off
and
Black
why?
Blast.
I've been very
Block.
distracted by Block.
Not sponsored again.
Not sponsored. But I think the MVP should have been Saquon Barkley because bro was running and running and running, man. He's like the best running back in the NFL. Did he break the rushing record?
No.
Oh yeah, they took him out right.
He
like
broke
100 yards away.
He broke like the total rushing record, which is including the playoffs, but the one regular season, no.
He almost did because he sat the last game. Okay.
Yeah.
Which is they should have let him break the record, bro.
No,
Against the Giants.
That was the funniest shit ever because there's a family that had a sign that said they flew in to see Saquon play the record.
That sucks.
That's nasty work.
But yeah, Mike, when you talk about impact players, he did the whole season. He was the reason why the Eagles were so successful. Without him, I don't think they make the Super Bowl. I don't think so. I think at least.
I agree.
Yeah, I don't think so. I believe.
I don't think the Bills make the playoffs without Josh Allen.
You gotta give.
That's true.
You gotta give props to the O line though too.
Yeah, there's definitely the offensive line was
They're stacked.
staying intact.
They're
Yeah,
stacked.
I believe
Jalen
so.
Hurts played well all year too.
Yeah. However, Saquon Barkley, he is not getting paid as much as he's worth, which makes him more valuable.
Saquon
That
and
is
Derek,
true.
Saquon and Derek definitely and Jimmy, I'll say, made it so that they revived
The running back market.
The running back market, and running backs will now be able to get paid a little bit more.
Bring back Todd Gurley, shall we? No?
Man, it's not really special.
Yeah.
But do we want to argue against first, and then we'll get into Trevon's pick. We can argue against, and then we'll get into the next.
There is no argument.
Honestly,
I
I do agree with you about Saquon Barkley because I didn't really watch many Eagles games this year aside from the Super Bowl. But what from I saw for him during the Super Bowl, he was had a really good game, good performance. Maybe have one or two sloppy plays during that whole game. Otherwise, honestly, I can't really say much because again, I didn't watch many Eagles games this season.
That's fair.
That's fair.
Cooper, what was your reasons against?
To kind of go off Trevor's point, I didn't watch many Eagles games this year, but like from what I did see in the Super Bowl, he kind of got held. He kind of got held to like the minimum amount to what his potential is. What was it, like 57 yards he had?
Yeah, the whole defense focused on.
Yeah, no, that's what he does, and I think that whole Eagles game plan was to run around Saquon and to go around Saquon and make it so that defense is focused on him. However, the Eagles were already a good team.
Yeah.
They had made the Super Bowl without Saquon. They have a killer O-line. It's just still. It's just they played without Saquon, and they won still.
I still agree that who made the point that Eagles wouldn't have made the Super Bowl without. Yeah, for sure they don't make the Super Bowl without Saquon because they probably lose to the Rams.
That's what I
in
thought.
that game because Saquon put the team on his back. I do think that there are just better options for most valuable player though. Like when you think about like how good the Eagles are as a collective, like we were all saying, Eagles defense was the best defense in the NFL this year. Jalen Hurts is top 10 QB. Their O-line is either first or second, whoever you think is better between the Eagles and Lions. So he has such a good supporting cast around him. At the same time, though, he ran for 2,000 yards. So it's like, how do you weigh it, right? Because there's the good of the team, and then there's also Saquon is a monster. So Saquon being in the MVP race, totally deserved. I do think that it was the right decision that he did not win the award, though.
Yeah, they got to make, in my opinion, they got to make a different award for quarterbacks because this does seem just like
because it's usually quarterbacks that win MVP.
It just seems like
every year.
It just seems like
Adrian Peterson's last non-QB to win MVP.
Even for this, I mean, the last 2 years I've had running backs in the running for MVP. Christian McCaffrey last year, and then Saquon.
I'm still of the opinion that CMC should have won it last year, but well, that's another day. Trevon, who do you think should have been MVP?
Well,
speak to your people, man.
It's my hometown team, the Detroit Lions. Jared Goff.
Oh man.
Yes,
okay.
Because name any other quarterback this season that has thrown a perfect game. Was it 19 for 19, I think, or 18 for 18? 18 for 18 against Seahawks in week 4, I want to say.
Yeah, week 4.
Yeah, in week 4. Name another quarterback this year that has done that in the regular season.
He caught a fucking touchdown pass.
Yes, he caught a touchdown pass. He caught his own pass and scored his own touchdown. So, come on. Because he did a lateral to Amon-Ra St. Brown, and then he tossed it to Goff in the end zone, and then caught his own touchdown.
It was such a
like name another quarterback that can do that, for crying out loud. Even in a post game interview that I watched of that game, Jared Goff had said he in his entire career playing high school, college, and pro football has never caught his own touchdown. He's usually ran it in the end zone. So that
Josh
right
Allen
there.
Caught his own pass though, or
Nick Foles caught his own
Josh Allen technically got counted for a pass.
But it's okay because this year was weird too.
Yeah, I will say this year was a really weird year, but also a good year for the Lions. Yeah. Definitely some improvements that could be made, but that was by far the best performance of a Lions team I've seen ever.
There you go.
Dishon, would you like to
yes.
defend or destroy?
I'm making a rebuttal, but not even for Saquon. The Bills beat us with Josh Allen because of Josh Allen.
Our defense sucked.
Yeah, but still, Josh Allen putting 45 points up.
Our defense was fucking atrocious.
Yes, but that doesn't
we
matter
when you talk about beat down, teeth
value.
missing, all that stuff.
Yeah,
Come on. Who had more of a complete team than the Bills? But we were still whooping ass.
But Goff threw 5 picks, and somehow because of the defense, if he didn't have that 5 interception game, I believe he could have won it. But because he did, that was the detriment.
That took him out of the MVP running for the rest of the season.
That's a good point.
Until the end.
Because his numbers were, because Goff overall had a great year, right?
Best year on record.
He ran the most efficient and the most potent scoring offense in the NFL and ran to a T. Mm-hmm. He ran the Ben Johnson playbook to the best of his ability and did a great job for the majority of the year, other than against the Houston Texans, which Lions still won that game.
Somehow.
Thank you, Jake Bates. Thank you, Jake Bates.
Jake Bates the GOAT. And then that as well as against the Commanders. So I think that definitely Goff being in the race totally deserved it. Once again, I go back to the most valuable player argument, and I still see that the Lions as a team is so good. Amon-Ra St. Brown is a top
5, really.
Probably top 5 receiver.
I agree with that.
I would probably put them in.
Jameer-
Jameer Gibbs is a top 3 running back right now.
Mm-hmm.
Or he had a top 3 running back season this year.
He was number 1 in fantasy.
Yeah, I mean, he was a freaking demon because he's catching balls, he's running.
I wouldn't say
it's crazy. And then I also know Lions O-line is good. Obviously, their defense was such a detriment, which is why Goff is in the running to begin with because he ran the offense so well.
Yeah.
The offense kept him in so many games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I do think that like Goff himself isn't the X factor in the offense, but he did run it fantastically. So I absolutely do see the point.
Yeah.
Yeah, Goff isn't the X factor.
Jameer Gibbs should have been an MVP candidate. But
Shut the hell up.
Right,
That's
it could
that's
have.
not the worst thing I've heard today.
Yeah.
That's not the worst. That's not,
Jameer Gibbs
that's not the
or
worst thing.
Jameson Williams.
That is
I don't know about J-Mo.
Okay.
Okay.
Nah, that's nasty.
There's like,
No, that's nasty.
aside from all the cocky BS he does.
Okay, yeah.
In the fucking gun in his car, the
Yes.
unregistered gun in his car.
Yes, aside from that.
And the interception he threw.
Oh my god.
But that's not receiving.
He still received a lot of balls and ran the ball to the end zone.
Yeah, you're seeing.
Especially in those long, big plays that were like almost Hail Mary like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We saw it in the
fair.
Commanders game. We saw it in the Bills game. We saw it in any game we were down. They'd usually use him in those type of plays. Even the Bears game.
J-Mo. Yeah, no.
I wouldn't even say J-Mo's our like. I wouldn't even say. I mean, J-Mo's not our
Waymo takes the
MVP for
blame
wide
out.
receivers. It's Amon-Ra. I mean, isn't it?
Consistency is key.
Consistency is key. Didn't he say?
Indeed.
Isn't it a stat?
Get
that
a
he-
block blast, bro.
Isn't it?
Okay.
Isn't it a stat that he only dropped 1 pass this year?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, I mean, he's
That's impressive.
It was
yeah,
what,
he's-
during the Bills game, I believe.
It was the Bills game, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's when I text you guys saying, like, what the hell are we paying him for? And then all of a sudden he comes out and scores that touchdown.
Mhm.
He is very consistent, but we just have too many pieces, so where I think Goff should not have won MVP. I mean, the Commanders game,
That doesn't count for
I know it doesn't count, but
The-
I want to bring up that point.
The
I mean,
Buccaneers game.
I want to bring up that point. Goff, I mean, Goff looked rocked. Goff got rocked when he threw that pick 6.
And you get
Well, he also got
concussed.
hit like head-on helmet too.
Yeah.
After that, he didn't play right.
Yeah, that's my point. I think we should have kept Teddy. I think we should have kept Teddy in.
Teddy Bridgewater.
Teddy too.
Okay, that's wild.
Hey, we scored a touchdown.
Who?
That was off of us.
Hey, it's still a touchdown.
We got a trick play with Teddy Bridgewater. Who can come up with a better script than that?
Oh my
It could
God.
have happened with golf
It
too.
was-
It has
it was-
before.
It was
was
hilarious because we're all watching the game. We're all crashing out at the fact that that Jared Goff got hurt.
I was at the game and I didn't even realize Teddy Two Gloves came in at all.
Man.
And I was like, wait. I looked over at my dad. I was like, where's Goff? And then we looked at the replay and we see him get rocked.
That's
I see him on
good.
the sideline and I'm like, oh, he's in the 10. He's bad. He's
done.
that bad.
Yeah.
He was
And then all of a sudden Teddy comes in and gets that trick play, and I immediately was like, keep Teddy in.
That was not his fault though either. It was Jameson Williams that outran everybody.
Hey, can we be honest? We're Ben Johnson merchants.
Yeah, that's what it seems
We're
like.
Ben
But
Johnson merchants.
next year
We need
we're
to
gonna
be-
be who's the new offensive coordinator?
I don't even know.
I have no idea.
We're gonna be the new offensive coordinators.
Mr.
merchants.
Lions guy doesn't know who the new OC is.
Okay, I never heard of this guy before.
Not last time.
He was I think he was part. He's part of the team. He
He's
was part of the team. He was part of.
Was he part of the coaching staff
He was part
last
of,
year?
he was part of the coaching staff. He just got.
Who's got promoted to offensive coordinator? Same with the new defensive coordinator.
I think defensive.
Their
coordinator-
Lions' new offensive coordinator was the pass game coordinator for the Broncos.
Oh no! In that case, yeah. No. Oh, defensive coordinator.
Oh my lord! The least
Yeah.
Lions fan of the bunch here knows. Cinema.
Alright, we're going
Cooper. Who should have been MVP?
People like to bring up stats for this MVP race. If we're going off stats, Joe Burrow. I understand. I understand
We have
completely.
no one arguing for Lamar Jackson. That's
I
hilarious.
understand completely.
Except for
that-
maybe Will.
Yeah, I understand. I understand completely that they didn't make the playoffs, but Joe Burrow at the end of the season put the team on his back and made it so that they were in a position to possibly make the playoffs if the Broncos weren't absolute dickheads and ruined Carson Wentz's legacy game. But I mean, either way, I think either way, when the Bengals do get better, Joe Burrow will be an MVP candidate again, and will win MVP.
You saying he's winning next year?
I'm saying if the Bengals get good, if the Bengals are actually able to build around him, the Bengals need to do some serious looking at their front office,
especially their defense.
Yes, their defense, fucking hell. That's why I'm saying Joe Burrow should have won MVP. Because look at Goff with a torn up defense, with a beaten up defense. Joe Burrow just had a shit defense, and still put up the numbers he did, and led him to a position to be in the playoffs, and led him over 500.
But he said they had a terrible, but they. Okay, never mind.
We're
talking about MVP, not just stats.
They let the Cowboys get close.
I need to crash out real quick. You know, Bengals, if you would have just beaten New England in the first game of the year, New England could have had the number 1 overall pick, and the Bengals could have been in the playoffs. It would have made it more interesting.
He's a Patriot.
Instead, I got the 4th pick. All right. Anyway,
he's a Patriot.
that's my limited crash out.
Y'all could have picked Travis.
I still could. We'll see.
We'll see.
Travis Hunter.
What do you think about the?
Well, honestly,
Trevon
when it comes to both MVP and also making the playoffs, you got to be good from start to finish of the regular season because you got to win games early on. You can't be put in that position where you got to hope you have to win a game, but also another team loses and or wins for you to be put in that situation. You got to be good. So yes, Joe Burrow, he did statistically have a good season, but the team overall didn't perform like they should have. Defense was crap. O-line was decent, but it wasn't, great.
Joe Burrow
defense might be pushing it, or decent might be pushing it.
Joe Burrow be running for his life.
Again,
Joe Burrow looks like Kyler Murray.
Again, the same with the Eagles. I never watched a lot of Bengals games either, but
because we're over in the East Coast.
I'm just looking at stats. Just looking purely at stats in this one.
Okay.
They're in the AFC. All their games are like on CBS and shit.
Yeah.
And we can't even watch them.
Yeah, that makes sense. So I was gonna be like, the Bengals are in Cincinnati. It's only 4 hours away.
Nah. According to Fox, we can't watch them. Dishon, would you like to destroy my take?
No, I'm good. I like giving everyone's take, a chance because I think Saquon still deserved it. But
if I could go against the take, I think that Burrow, while he did have a good year, like Trevon said, Joe Burrow didn't have a consistent year.
Yeah.
Really, he put up basically 3 straight mid to stinker games to start out the year, and then that's the reason that they were in the hole that they were in. Absolutely should have beaten New England. New England played terrible in their first game against Cincinnati. Jacoby Brissett was not only the starter, he wasn't playing very good, and the Bengals still lost, mostly because the Bengals offense produced nothing. They produced, I believe it was 10 points against New England's defense, which was not good at all this year. And that's the Bengals offense fully healthy.
Yeah.
So I just don't see how Burrow can underperform for the first X amount of games of the year, and then you can say, yeah, I think that he still deserved MVP while missing the playoffs.
I gotta ask, wasn't it that... Okay, so I know Jamar was in the running for Offensive Player of the Year. Yeah. Was it Jamar that didn't get a single fucking vote for first place?
I don't remember.
Because I thought I saw that.
Oh, yeah, even though he won the Triple Crown.
Yeah, that's bullshit. No, if anything, Jamar should have came in second for Offensive Player of the Year. Granted, Saquon should have won it, but Jamar should have been second at least. The Triple Crown winner. Shit.
Anyway.
You're up.
Time to lecture the people about my glorious king. I hate the fact that I have to call my glorious king because I'm legally obligated to not like the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen had an insanely good season this year. He was basically the only reason that the Bills not only made the playoffs, but the only reason they were in the AFC Championship game. They had the second best offense in the NFL. His top receiver, who they got in the middle of the year, was Amari Cooper. And he is good, but when he played for the Bills, he wasn't great.
Mm-mm.
He had his additional help was a O-line that's okay. James Cook, who definitely had a breakout year. James Cook had a really good year, and then their tight end depth is pretty good. Bills' defense is kind of middle of the road. They played better at the end of the season,
except for against the Lions.
Bills still won though,
Bro.
By 3 points.
Yeah,
With the banged up defense, keep that in mind.
But the Bills still won. Josh Allen put that team on his back. He is the definition of most valuable player.
That's true.
There's absolutely no way the Bills go anywhere without Josh Allen.
Right.
If you could literally put Patrick Mahomes on the Bills, and I don't think that the Bills make it out of the first round. They probably make the playoffs. I don't think they make it out of the first round. Because that's how bad of a year Mahomes had. And you are saying that about a perennial top 5 to top 10 QB who's beaten him multiple times. And guess what? I still think that, and I totally believe that Josh Allen is nigh unreplaceable. Only guy I could see is maybe Lamar Jackson, but Lamar Jackson was able to thrive so well this year, especially. This is his best statistical season by far. He has Derrick Henry in the backfield with him. Of course he's going to be successful. I could have Derrick Henry in the backfield with me, and guess what? All the eyes are going to be taken off of me. It's the same thing that we saw with the Eagles in the Super Bowl. Everyone's focused on Saquon Barkley. Nothing's on Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts has his best game of maybe the whole year.
Talk about Devontae Smith, man.
All right,
he MVP?
Get out of here.
No, I'm just playing.
There's no way that Josh Allen couldn't have been MVP this year. Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson's numbers are close. Lamar Jackson's, are they better? Yeah. Guess what? Josh Allen's numbers last year were significantly better than Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson still won MVP. Because, yes, he was still a very valuable player to the Ravens that year. Because he was their whole offense. That exact same argument applies to Josh Allen this year.
Okay, well, you might have a point.
Hey, if we're gonna go based off MVP, look at every other sport then. We gotta take that in consideration then. Why not just make it that then? Make it actually that most valuable player. Don't make it a quarterback award. I get quarterbacks are valuable to the team, but still, you had who the fuck beat the Bills in the final game? They had Mitch Trubisky versus who was in it?
No, they played New England.
Yeah,
it was Joe Milton.
Joe Milton. They had Joe Milton in the fucking game for New England, and they still
but
lost.
the Bills had all their starters out.
Yeah,
they literally started Josh Allen for one snap. They ran the ball. Josh Allen came off the field, so they kept his starting.
Bryce Young MVP next year.
Yeah,
what?
Bryce Young MVP next year.
Okay, get out.
I'm chilling.
Bryce Young.
I'm a Bryce Young believer, but that's diabolical.
For me, Bryce Young will be an MVP one day, but not next year.
That's fair.
That's still low-key diabolical.
No, Bryce Young is getting better with the Panthers.
He's good, though.
They did surprisingly good this year.
You want to talk about Coach of the Year? Just
give
MVP
real quick.
Hold on, but first we gotta talk about.
Can we do Coach of the Year?
What's behind the players though? Why are we acting as the players are tools? MVP should stand for most valuable personality because that's what makes.
Jameis Winston, most valuable personality. Let's go.
I think Jameis Winston should. My bad.
Yes.
Jameis Winston should win.
Famous Jameis.
Actually, I will say real quick. You have a point of why Jared Goff should be MVP. Have you seen his wife, bro?
Oh, that's the motivation right there.
He is MVP. My bad.
Most valuable personality, Amon-Ra St. Brown.
No.
Going headstand in the end zone.
At the Packers game. Yeah.
Get the hell out of
here.
Lambeau Field. No, if you don't
that was maybe the funniest moment of the
season. If you don't think Jameis Winston should be most valuable personality, you're wrong.
I got it. Wait, what was it?
Are you
yeah.
It's like 8 years old when he was on the Bucks. I feel old now. I think about it.
Oh, we're old. We're all old.
Man.
But no, just give our thoughts on Coach of the Year, I guess.
Yeah.
Dishon, your thoughts on Kevin O'Connell?
Kevin O'Connell.
Who do you think should have been Coach of the Year?
I don't know who do you think should have been it, and compared to Kevin O'Connell.
Not Kevin O'Connell, you feel me?
I'm gonna be fighting
it was down to Dan Quinn and Dan Campbell, you feel me? So Dan Quinn turning the Commanders around with the help of Jaden Daniels, and Sanders still one of the best like young corners in the league right now. So there's that. But then Dan Campbell, while he had like a couple of off games with his coaching that Jared Goff like bailed him out of, it's still like the fact when Jared Goff was having bad games, he still kept us in the game. Like the Bills game, the Texans game, the first Vikings game, that was thanks to Dan Campbell. And the fact that he's gotten us out of a hole to where we're going from like not making the playoffs or like losing a playoff in like 30 years, like for all 30 years to like consistently now making the playoffs. I know it's only been 2 seasons, but two. Yeah, 2 seasons.
Almost made the playoffs in that second year.
If we
a terrible start of the year.
Yeah, if we didn't lose to Seattle 45-42 that year. But yeah, just it's a really good thing Dan Campbell's doing, and sometimes I hate him. Like I just want to just like, but I gotta calm down because I gotta remember in my whole lifetime I had never seen the Lions win a playoff game until last year. So I'm gonna take my time and hopefully the Lions win the Super Bowl. But it was between them two. I really don't know who to pick, but that's my take.
Yeah, I completely agree with Dishon. Just because, like you said, Dan Quinn for the Commanders turned that program around from being like close to the bottom of the NFL last season to being a playoff team that was competitive and went to the NFC Championship game.
And beat the Lions.
Which, yes, I'm still a little salty about that. But he still turned the program around. And one of the reasons why I think Dan Quinn should have been Coach of the Year. Dan Campbell, in my opinion, should have gotten it the last 2 seasons.
Yeah.
I definitely think he should have been Coach of the Year last year, for sure.
With last year's breakout season that he had. Again, first time making a playoff, plus winning a playoff game for the first time in 30 years. It was history right there because most people today have never seen that before from a Lions team, and making it to again the NFC Championship game, ultimately losing to the Bucs, which yes we did choke that game, but honestly that doesn't matter since we're talking about MVP or Coach of the Year award, which is during the regular season of the NFL, and during the regular season at that point. Both last year and this year, Lions had played the best football that the program's ever seen. He brought the Lions to a franchise record of 15 wins, I believe, right? 15 wins.
15-2.
Yeah, 15-2, which was one of the best records in the NFL by the time the regular season was over.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only other team
It's tied with Kansas City.
Yeah, it was tied with Kansas City.
Was also 15-2.
Yeah, aside from Kansas City, no other team in the NFL has gotten 15 wins. And comparing Dan Campbell to Kevin O'Connell, beat them twice, one in a nail-biter, and the other one was a blowout. And the blowout one was the most important game of the season, in my opinion.
That's fair.
For both teams. Because
Talk about pooping the bed.
Exactly. Because I thought going into that game, it was going to be a very close game between the Lions and Vikings. Because it was
disaster class.
it was for...
It was Sam Darnold's fault, though, because he overthrew Justin Jefferson so many times.
So many times.
Meek locked him the fuck up.
Because it was for the number 1 seed of the playoffs. And, yeah, the Vikings, you could tell they started to get nervous, especially towards about halfway through the second quarter. That's when they started to fall apart really bad. And Sam Darnold started throwing those picks. But, yeah, that's all I really got for Dan Campbell. Kevin O'Connell, yes, coming from having a quarterback coming from the Jets, or not Jets, the Giants, and bringing him to Minnesota.
He's from the Jets.
Oh, he's from the Jets? I knew
He went from the Jets to Carolina to San Francisco and then to Minnesota.
Okay, I knew he came from one of the New York
He had a
teams.
little bit of a stint in
Either way, he honestly sucked as a quarterback. The way that Sam Darnold did perform good in the regular season, I will admit that, until those last couple weeks before the playoff season began. I know it was a great way for Kevin O'Connell to coaching him up with getting him better as a quarterback, and same with Dan Campbell too. Like keeping that Lions defense though intact somewhat still. Yes, most of our starters are out on defense, like Aiden Hutchinson, Alex Anzalone, and many more.
Carlton Davis.
Yep. But still, even between like November, December ish, when most of them are out, we were still winning games consistently, and they were more than one score consistently as well. There have been a few games where they were close, and even though they shouldn't have been close, but we were still able to win the game. And honestly, that goes on both Dan Campbell and Aaron Glenn.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's fair. Okay, so my whole thing is it's all about expectations coming into the season. For me, that lead me to my decision for Coach of the Year. While I am biased towards Dan Campbell because he's a Lions head coach, we had good expectations leading to the season. We had expectations to win and to win multiple games. And we were one of the Super Bowl favorites. My whole thing is that Kevin O'Connell, with Sam Darnold at quarterback, had barely no expectations for this season. And same with Dan Quinn. I mean, granted, Dan Quinn has a rookie quarterback to utilize, and they took him to the NFC Championship. While with Kevin O'Connell was able to help lead a Sam Darnold-led Vikings team who were not supposed to be as good as they were, led them to the playoffs. Granted, they got their ass kicked, but still, that is still a really good, season. From being, predicted to be, one of the worst teams I think they were, to winning,
They were projected to be bottom of the conference.
Yeah, to be winning.
Not bottom of the overall conference, but bottom of the division.
Yeah, to be winning 14 games. I mean, still, I always gotta take. I'm taking that into consideration. While I am biased towards Dan Campbell, we just had too many expectations leading into this season, having made the NFC Championship the year before.
Yep.
And I think Dan Quinn or Kevin O'Connell should have won.
Jay Jetta still ain't won a playoff game. That's crazy.
Yeah, Jaden Daniels won.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Man.
My opinion's pretty similar. I completely see the argument for Dan Campbell. I think that he should have won it the year before.
Yeah.
I will forever be a part of that opinion as well. Kevin O'Connell walked into the season with an interesting scenario that your rookie QB that you weren't sure that you were planning on starting, you're probably going to do something that's similar to what New England was going to do, which was to bridge in JJ. JJ gets hurt, and he's out for the season. And now Sam Darnold is going to be your full-time QB for the whole season. And you get 14 wins, and two of your losses are to arguably maybe one of the best teams in the NFL during the season, especially during the regular season. That is insane. They were not projected to be anywhere near even a playoff spot, but they were in contention for the first seed the whole year. And they were still able to make the playoffs. They had the most wins by a wild card team ever. 14 wins by a wild card team is absurd. Mm-hmm. And I completely see the argument for everyone else, but there's just no way that you can see the Vikings scenario that they walked into, see them walk out with 14 wins, and you're like, dang, how is it not? It's gotta be Kevin O'Connell. And you can also attribute their defense had a really good year, performed highly above expectations. So did the offense, though. Jordan Addison took a dramatic leap. And Sam Darnold played fantastic. He had a Baker Mayfield level career renaissance, and where he just played in a better system. He got accustomed to said system and then played super well during it for the majority of the year. Yeah. So I completely think that Kevin O'Connell should have been Coach of the Year. Dan Campbell and Dan Quinn, though, shouts to both of them because the Lions had an excellent season, and then the Commanders obviously surpassed expectations by a long shot. So yes, I do think it comes down to what were your preseason expectations, and then how did you actually perform? That is where I think Kevin O'Connell.
If you're going off of preseason expectations, then it's Dan Quinn, by far, not Kevin O'Connell, in my opinion. Just because
both were picked to finish bottom, or Washington was projected to finish higher than the Giants.
Yeah, I think they were projected to go 8 and 9 or something like that. The Commanders.
Commanders were supposed to be middle of the pack.
Yeah.
The Vikings were supposed to be bottom of their division.
Yeah,
4
but
and
also the
13.
NFC North is stacked. Keep that in mind.
Yeah.
That is.
Yeah,
it's a tougher division.
But
In the NFC
could
East.
you have predicted the Cowboys to have such a down year? I mean, Dak gets hurt.
No.
That opens up the way for Washington to sneak in. There's no way you can see the Vikings get 14 wins with Sam Darnold.
Oh, I didn't
And it's
think
not.
that. I thought they were going to be the worst team in the league. Especially after Jacob
Yeah.
got hurt.
And
That
like
was the
their
worst.
defense going into it, they had just traded away Danielle Hunter too, or not traded away. He had just left
Yeah.
the Texans, or left for the Texans. Way surpassed expectations. In my opinion. I do see where I do absolutely see the Dan Quinn argument though, but I mean, Jaden Daniels was the number 2 overall pick for a reason.
Yeah.
I totally see where you're coming from though, in terms of why Dan Quinn is starting with.
Yes.
Well,
So
That's going to do it,
I think
guys.
that wraps up. I think that wraps up the episode.
Like, share, subscribe, follow for more content. Don't forget to subscribe to the Omar White.
Yep.
All right, bro. Big thank you to Trevon.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank
for
you.
coming on, kind of a whim, right?
Yeah.
Kind of adds last second.
Trevon, would you like to shout yourself out and everything?
Yes, make sure you go like, subscribe, and follow all my social media. TW Productions, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, all of it. Go follow it.
Yes.
Hey, yes sir. Trevon is a good friend of all of us here on the pod, so hopefully we'll get you on more episodes.
Yes, for sure.
We'll definitely work it in, and we'll go from there. I think that this was one of our better episodes.
Yeah, this
so
was.
I think it was a good episode.
I think it was one of our more calmer episodes, I feel like.
A little less heated.
A little less heated.
You were pretty heated at the
Yeah,
at the
a
start.
little less heated, a little bit more on
A
track.
little bit less F-bombs, you know what I'm saying? But it's okay. It's okay.
Well,
We were actually on track this time.
Yeah.
editor will bleep those out, but either way. either way, that's gonna wrap
Hear
it
that,
up.
guys? F-bombs are here to stay.
Yeah.
Either way, that's gonna wrap it up a lot.
So that is gonna wrap it up.
Yep.
We will see you on the next episode of
The
The Consensus, which we'll see what we'll talk about. I actually don't know. So let's see what we talk about next time.
We'll find some news to break to you guys, and yeah.
Baseball season coming up.
March Madness is coming up in a flash.
Go Blue.
We gotta go Blue for tonight. Woo!
Go Green.
And that's it.
That's it.
Let's get out of here.